The 5 money black holes. But first, what is a black hole? A black hole forms when a massive star collapses at the end of its life cycle. Now, the thing about a black hole is that it, it doesn't allow anything to get out once it has gotten in. Like anything that goes in never comes out. And now, the other thing about the black hole is that even light itself cannot escape the black hole. Like you cannot see any light coming out of the black hole. It's just black hole that is just there. So welcome to the Elite Money series. This is episode 5, and the reason I started this series is because when I looked at the money advice online, I realized that a lot of it is just nonsense financial advice. And this is why I started this channel, so this series, so that I can show other entrepreneurs the lessons that I have learned about money and how they can apply these lessons in their lives. So I am Samuel Kim, the founder and CEO of NK Elite. NK Elite is an agency that is focused on marketing and fundraising, email marketing and grant writing. So back to the 5 money black holes. So the 5 money black holes, these are where your money disappears into and you never see it again, never touch it or see it again. So once your money goes there, it is done. You can never get it back again. So the first money black hole. The first money black hole is gambling. And for me, the gambling that I have seen is in mostly two forms. The first one is about speculating and the second one is about betting. So speculating is more about buying a stock at a low price with the intention of selling it at a high price. So that is basically what speculation is about. It's about buying something at a low price so that you can sell it at a high price, but there is no there is no certainty that price is going to go up. Like you don't know whether it will go up or not, or whether it will stay the same, or whether it will even go below that. You don't know. So that is the issue with this speculating thing. Is that we're trying to build the market, but at the end of the day, beating the market is a very difficult task. And now, I wouldn't encourage anyone to try to beat the market because now it is a losing game. The second gambling form that now this one is the most attractive one is betting now. So first of all, I was a better myself, so I was there. So this was in 2014 and 2015. So I was there, but for me, I got tired very quickly and I got out of it. But the issue was that my best friend didn't get out of it and he stayed there for longer than me. And at the end of the day, I ended up asking him to stop the betting because now he was losing more than he was gaining. So, like, when you look at the average, like maybe let's say maybe in a year, in 3 years, he lost more than he ever won. That is the issue with it because betting the odds are stacked against you. So that is the second gambling issue that I have seen, and now this is the most attractive one. The second money black hole is spending more than you earn. So this one also comes in two forms. The first one is spending everything that you have earned. So at the end of the day, you end up at zero. Or second thing is that you spend more than you earn. And now, in order to bridge this difference now, you have to use loans now. So this one, second type now, ends up putting you in debt. The first one, you just end up with nothing at the end of the day, but the second one, you are in debt. So this is something that I experienced personally now. So this was in November 2021. So this was after I walked away from selling gas. What happened is that when I look around my room at that time, I look around and I was like, where did my money go? Like I don't have the money. I'm not seeing anything I did with it. Now the issue was that I had spent everything that I had done selling gas. And now what happened is that I spent everything that I earned and now I ended up at zero. So that was the issue for me. So and that is the issue is either spending more than one. So this one now whether you cross at it at end up at zero or end up in debt in the negative. The third money black hole is buying cheap stuff. So this is in terms of electronics, it's in terms of equipment, it's in terms of courses, it's in terms of coaches. This is also in terms of the experiences that you want to go through. So what happens is that when you buy something that is cheap, you end up destroying everything. So for example, if it is a product, so let's say that we're looking for the cheapest equipment. So there was a time that I was doing electrical stuff. So you can say that when you're looking for the cheapest equipment, so let's say like pliers, what happens is that when you buy the cheapest pliers, what ends up happening is that you end up replacing it so many times that it ends up being costly than if you had just bought the high quality pliers. So that's the first issue is buying cheap stuff. Like the quality of the item you buy is so low that in the long run it end up costing you. So in the short term it may seem like the best money decision, but in the long run it end up being uh, the very worst decision that you could ever make because it end up costing you more replacing that item than it will have cost you to just buy the a quality item. The fourth money hole is so because before we get to the fourth money hole, so talking about the buying low quality stuff. So that's the first issue is the product. The second issue is about buying a cheap service. What happens here is that you end up with a service that its value is so low that it's almost insignificant. Like it doesn't add anything to what you wanted to do. So this can be when you are looking to maybe you are looking for a service. So this can be coaching, it can be a course. So when you buy the cheapest one, you end up getting value that is so less that it would have been better to not even spend anything. But now you end up gaining so little from it. So now back to the fourth manual. So the fourth manual is the keeping up with the Genesis. So this is about spending on money to impress others. So this one I've noticed that it happens mostly when it's people who come from a background whereby the main theme was that not enough money. Like when they asked for something, the reply they got was don't have enough. So this is mainly comes from people who have been through that. And now what happens is this is that it is a it is a sign or it is a subtle sign of insecurity and low self-esteem. So it's whereby you feel as if you have to buy this thing so that you can show that you have the money. That so it is a way of buying this stuff right now so that you show that you have the money because now you feel as if when people are interacting with you, they look at they interact with you as if they feel that you don't have enough money. So it is like a kind of proving yourself. Now the problem is this: is that when you spend your money, your hard-earned money, on something that you don't need, in order to impress people who now not even matter for you in your life. Like you don't have to impress anyone in this world. You only have to live your life. And now you are spending so that you can impress someone. You end up burning a hole through your pocket because now at the end of the day it's always be someone at a higher level than you, and what will end up is that you'll be spending more and more and more and more. Now at the end of the day you'll end up in a situation that you've spent all your money and now either you end up in debt or at the end of the day you end up with nothing. So that is the issue is keeping up with the genesis. Now the fifth and final money black hole. So this one is buying liabilities which have been discrete as asset. So what is a liability and what's an asset, and what's the difference between a liability and an asset? So a liability is something that when you buy it, it takes out money out of your pocket. On the other hand, an asset is something that when you buy, puts money into your pocket. So best way to look at it is that liability, money out, asset, money in. So this is one of the reasons I started this series. And now this is because when I looked at the financial advice online, I realized that a lot of it was just nonsense advice, like nonsense financial advice. Because now people are being encouraged to acquire liabilities which have been disguised as assets. Now, this is one of the hot ways that you can spend your money on. So, for example, one of the things I saw is that buying this buying stuff on credit. So this is stuff that you don't need. So like in Kenya now, the Kenyan version of it is that this the Gondogo stuff. So this whereby you are buying a phone or a TV on credit. So at the end of the month you pay something. Now what I realized is that one day I calculated this now these expenses, and I realized that like now there was a phone I calculated for, and I realized that when you buy the phone on cash it is 10,000, but when you buy it on that credit it end up being 40,000. So that is already 4 times what you will have paid if you have just saved the money to buy that phone. So that is one of the issues with buying liabilities which have been discussed as assets. So you are told that your phone will do this, your TV will do this, but at the end of the day, it's not putting money into your pocket, it is just taking money out of you. So that is the fifth issue, like the fifth money black hole. So those are the five money black holes. So the first one is gambling, second one is spending more than one, third one is buying cheap stuff, the fourth one is yes, jumped my mind. So the first one is gambling, the second one is spending more than one, the third one is buying cheap stuff, the fourth one is buying liabilities which have been discussed as asset, and the fifth one is I don't remember for now. So I'll put it in the description. So that's all I had for you today, and I'll see you in the next session. So bye bye. DM.